Water is life, period. Our lives on this planet, on planet Earth, or I like to call it planet Ocean, depends on water. We are water. 70% of our bodies are made up of water. The planet is covered 75% by water. And there's a reason for that. And so water, whether it's drinking water, water that we swim in, water that we look at, when we're living along the coastlines, plays a pivotal role in mankind's livelihood. Because without it, life would be kind of boring. I think that it brings a sense of peace. For me, since I was a child, going to the beach and looking out on the horizon at the ocean has always just given me this sense of understanding and knowing that the possibilities are endless. When you look out at the horizon, there's opportunities and new adventures to go on, and not knowing what's on the other side or what's beneath the surface. That sense of mystery to me has always inspired me. And in a lot of ways, being a person who believes in God and an ultimate creator, I've always seen water as synonymous with God because it gives us life, and it actually is the only molecule that can, transform into 3 different states of matter, unlike anything else on the planet, whether it's solid, liquid, or gas. And that connection to me always just made it, water ever present in our lives. We can't survive more than 3 days without water. We can survive a lot longer without food, but water, you have to have it to nourish your body, to keep your body healthy. And a good friend of mine and mentor named Wallace J. Nichols wrote a book called Blue Mind. And he really just nailed the fact that it's not just about our health, our physical health when it comes to water. It's about our mental health, our spiritual health, our psychological health. All of that really is impacted by water. It's not a coincidence that, 70% of the world's populations live along coastlines, because everybody wants a bit or a taste of the water, because it's what keeps us going. And so water itself, now that we're living on a planet that has more than 7 billion people living on it, and resources are starting to become limited, water will always be that common material or common, exchange between every single human on this planet. Every drop of water that's ever been on the earth is still here and being cycled in some shape or form. And if we don't have clean water resources and things like that, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. And so for me, in my life mission is always just to bring people back to the fact that, number 1, water is important. And number 2, it's our responsibility to help keep the water clean. Not only for humans, but for all the inhabitants that live under the surface, because we're just passengers on this planet, if you think about it. As humans, we're just kind of traveling around on this little blue ball, floating through space, living, being happy, enjoying ourselves. And all the other organisms on the planet are like crew members. This was a quote from one of my heroes, Captain Paul Watson. And he just talks about the fact that these crew members are what sustain life. And we have to make sure that all the crew members are safe and healthy, and so that we can continue to live here on this planet. And so that's our responsibility as human beings. And I think that anything is possible, although, sometimes things may look grim and difficult. We can still turn it around. We can turn around whatever we put our minds to, collectively and individually. And so getting back to water is where it's at. And if you can return and understand that water is your well-being, I think you're onto a good thing.